Hey everyone, Scotch192 here, and welcome to another WION review. In today's WION review, I'm going to be answering the simple question: is Batman R.I.P. worth it or not? This was a donation by Charles6895, I think. I just call him Charles. He donated some funds to specifically for me to review this graphic novel. I got it about a week ago, and I just finished it a day or two ago. I just haven't had enough time to film the review of it. And I don't think this is going to be a long-ass review. I think it's actually going to be one of my shortest WIONs ever, because I don't have a lot to say on this. Firstly, I will state that there is a reviewer quote on this from IGN. "As good as superhero comics get." By IGN. That should tell you everything. I never trust any quotes that end in IGN. Okay, firstly, let me just give you a little backstory. I am not a massive comic book geek. I know enough about comic book mythos and various comics. I have a fuck ton of hardbacks and graphic novels down there, several single issue comics. I know enough about Batman to know this. So, firstly, I'll comment on the art first. The art of this graphic novel, I'm going to say right now, I don't like it. I do not like this art style one bit. I just don't know what it is about it. I just don't like it. I'll see if I can find a good one. I think this is the best example I can give. I just don't like the art style of this, me personally. I don't know what it is about it. I just don't like it. It just doesn't really jump out to me. It's kind of like that art that you're like, it's okay, but at the same time, it's kind of meh. It's kind of average, on my opinion. Who's the artist to this, actually? I don't like the art that much, I'm going to be honest. The art's done by Tony S. Daniel, Sandu Floria, Lee Garbett, and Trevor Scott, and coloured by Guy Major and Alex Sinclair. I don't like the art, sorry. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't appeal to me in the slightest. The cover, on the other hand, I like the cover. The cover's awesome. I don't know what it is. The cover is just epic. I love it. However, I don't like the art. I just don't know what it is about it. I just don't like it that much. It's dull. Some instances are dead lifeless, and it just, I don't know, it just doesn't appeal to me. The art is not that great in my opinion. I can skim through a couple of bits and bobs, but overall, all I can say is the art is not that great. It just doesn't appeal to me in the slightest. If you like it, you like it, but for me personally, I don't like it. The art just does not scream anything. I've definitely read better graphic novels with better art, like Batman, the Winding Gyro, Batman Cacophony. Those have fantastic art in them. This, however, it just doesn't appeal to me. I just don't like the art style. The story. What's the story? Well, the story of Batman R.I.P. I haven't got a fucking clue. I'm sorry. The story is kind of confusing in my opinion. All I got is that Batman's trying to stop an organization known as the Black Glove. That is about everything I got from this story. I don't know if it's because I'm not that familiar with the overall story arc. I don't know, this graphic novel to me screams out that you have to know your shit about Batman to read it and understand it. You have to have been reading every graphic novel up until this point, which is about, I don't know, 2000. I don't know. It doesn't have a date on it. Does it? Let's check. I don't know the release date of this graphic novel, but it's sort of like one of those graphic novels that you have to have read a fuck ton of other issues to understand what's going on. Not to say that you don't understand the overall gist of the story. You do. However, at the same time, it's not that interesting. The story is not that interesting to me. I didn't like it. It was kind of dull. It was some action scenes, kind of confusing in some parts. The story just was not that interesting. It just didn't really. Joker is in this. Which actually, I'm going to have to show you the Joker art in this, because I do not like the artist's rendition of the Joker at all. It just does not look like the Joker that I like. See if I can find a good example of it. Here's the Joker in this. That's the one thing. I do not like that Joker. It looks horrible in my opinion. He looks buff. And I don't like that. The Joker is in this, but he's kind of there. He's just there, not used properly, in my opinion. But I just don't like the story. It's not that interesting. It's not that compelling. and in some instances it's kind of confusing, and I just don't like it at all. It's dull. It's not that entertaining in my opinion. Not to get me wrong that all I like is action thing. For fuck's sake, Batman Cacophony didn't have that much action, and it was more focused on the Batman character. This, on the other hand, it just, I don't know, the story didn't grip me. Like, Batman Cacophony and The Winding Gyro and every graphic novel I normally get, I can read in one sitting and done. I finished, I'll grab them right here, settings. I finished all 3 of these graphic novels right here. That's Batman Cacophony, The Blackest Night, and Batman The Winding Gyro, or Gyro, whatever the fuck you want to call it, all in one sitting. Batman R.I.P., I read half of it and then went away from it for a day and then came back. I couldn't finish this in one sitting. It's dull, it's not that very interesting of a story to me. It's sort of like one of those graphic novels that you have to have read every subsequent novel beforehand. It feels like it feels like parts of the story are missing from this. I don't know if that's just me. It just feels like this is one that you have to have been reading a fuck ton of crossover ones that DC do love, if my memory is correct. But I just don't like it. It feels like you have to read a shit ton of other graphic novels or comics to understand the story. This is done by Grant Morris and Tony S. Daniel. Grant Morris, you can't. I don't want to say anything bad about the guy because I don't know that much about him. He cannot write. This story's dull. This is not your best work. Whatever else other work you've done. The art. So overall, the art is okay. It's not that great. The story is boring, dull, and it doesn't really have anything to. It doesn't really appeal to me. However, I can see where it would like people. Like if you're a hardcore Batman fan, this is probably a must-have. If you're a huge DC fan, this is a must-have. If you like dull, uninteresting stories, I'm sorry, I do not like the story in this at all. So to answer the question, is it worth it or not? For me personally, no, this is not worth the price it's asking for. I got it off the book depository for, I think it was like £7. I don't feel like this was worth £7. I honestly don't. This was not worth it for me personally. It's definitely a graphic novel that you don't have to read. I would not recommend this to a Batman fan, if I'm going to be honest. I would not recommend it to basically any. I did not recommend this clan. I honestly don't. Didn't like it. But I can see where you could like it. You can like it in some aspects. Like, I'm going to be fair and honest. There are certain aspects that are interesting, but at the same time, they never really go anywhere, and they're definitely kind of dull in some instances. I can barely remember the story of this. That's why I'm doing a review right now, because I can guarantee you, I would have to have reread this in about a day or two, because I can barely remember the story. The only good thing about this graphic novel I can say is the interaction between Batman and the Joker is still fantastic. I think that's the one thing that's good about it. And also at the end, it has sort of like a flashback sequence for Batman where it like goes through different parts of his story, showing like him adopting Dick. It shows different art styles, which I prefer. Also does different flashbacks to him being Batman, and also does a few flashbacks with him and Talia al Ghul, and they're basically. I think it actually has a sex scene between the two of them in it. Two things I can't remember. I think it shows. It also shows Bane breaking Batman's back, which is nice. It also shows Jason Todd's death. Spoilers. I'm trying to find the scene that it has some interesting bits at the end. I will say that right now. Some bits at the end I found really interesting. Learning a wee bit more about Batman is always, it's like reprints, if I'm going to be honest. Some Joker gas, things like that. A wee bit of nostalgia trip, really. It shows sort of like the early days of Batman. Shit, nope, it's gone. I've lost it. Just things. I'll see if I can find it again. Sorry about this. I should have probably prepared this a bit better. It sort of like goes to a flashback sequence with him and with Batman, showing like him versus various villains, him adopting Jason, Tim and Jason and all that. It's a nice wee nostalgia. Also, if you never read those issues, it's kind of nice. It also shows the original Batwoman, by the way, which I cannot help but laugh at the costume. What's with Batman and make his sidekicks wear flamboyant costumes? It also shows Dick Grayson becoming Nightwing for the first time. It's a nice wee trip down nostalgia, like seeing some of those instances, showing Batman having some actual maybe nice things. Yeah, there is. Talia al Ghul and there. So the last couple of pages I liked, but the overall graphic novel I didn't enjoy that much, sorry. I would not recommend it for me personally. I have to say this is not worth the price it's asking for. It's a definite graphic novel you can skip. I'll say that right now. You can skip this. It's not a must read. But thank you again, Charles, for donating it. It was still interesting to an extent, but I would not recommend this for anyone. It's not that great of a graphic novel. It's definitely one you can miss. So overall, Batman R.I.P. Is it worth it? No, it's not worth it in my opinion. Definitely one you can give a miss. It's an average graphic novel with average story and average art. So overall, average. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. And thank you again for Charles to making that donation. And if you want to donate anything in the future for me to review, just contact me via PMA on YouTube. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. And I'll see you all later. Ciao for now.